Sometimes I get comments from people asking how to install Doom and actually get it set up and going, and I realized it is pretty intimidating, I think, at first. There's source ports and batch files, and it looks like you gotta be some kind of giga nerd to get this stuff working. So I'm gonna quickly show you how to get Doom up and running and looking the way it does on my channel with a modern source port and custom levels. So make a little folder on your desktop to put all your Doom stuff. We're going to have it all in one place, all in here. It's going to be a little bit cluttered, a little bit of a mess, but it's just going to be easier to use, especially if you have to write batch files later. So now we need Doom. And more specifically, we need the WAD files for Doom, the .wads. The process for this should be the same no matter where you get Doom from, but just as an example, I'll walk you through it on Steam. So I'm going to go to the store page, type in Doom and hit enter, obviously, and we're looking for Doom 2, because on the Doom 2 page on Steam, there's the Doom Classic Complete as well. And that's everything. That's the original Doom, Doom 2, master levels for Doom 2, and Final Doom, which is 2 additional level sets called Plutonia and TNT. So if you pick this up, you'll have everything you need. And it looks like it's on sale till the 7th, so that's pretty cool. If the whole collection is a little pricey for you, you can just get Doom 2. Most map sets these days are made for Doom 2. So if that's the only WAD you have, you'll still be able to play a crushing majority of custom map sets. So you've picked those up, now you come over to your library and you're going to install whatever ones you got. So if you just got Doom 2, you can just do that one. Otherwise, you can also do the Ultimate Doom and Final Doom. You don't have to do the master levels, we're not going to need that stuff. Okay, so we want to rescue just the WAD files from these so that we can use them with a modern source port to play custom map sets and do cool mods and all that sort of stuff. And with Steam, that's super easy. You don't even have to go looking for those files. I can just right-click on Doom 2, for example, Manage, Browse Local Files, and here we are. So just in the base folder, you'll see doom2.wad, and that's what we're interested in. Right-click, copy Doom 2, and then let's put that in that Doom folder we made. Just paste it. And if you only have Doom 2, you're done. If you got the Ultimate Doom and Final Doom, then we're going to do that for those as well. So the Ultimate Doom, Manage, Browse Local Files, Base, Doom.wad, copy and paste that. And then in Final Doom, we're going to do the same thing, but there's 2 we got to pick up while we're in here. There's Plutonia, and scroll all the way down for TNT as well. And paste. So at this point, we actually have everything we need. So if you're worried about your hard drive space, you can come back into Steam and you can actually uninstall these. Because we don't need all the other gobbledygook that came in those folders. We just need the WAD files. So these files are actually just data. They're like art, weapon sprites, monster sprites, wall and floor textures, damage numbers, things like that. They're not actually games. In order to load these up and actually play a game with them, we'll need a source port. Now there are tons of source ports out there. Everyone has their favorite. They'll swear by it. It's all a matter of preference. The one I use on the channel is DSDA Doom. It emulates the classic gameplay really well, and it has a ton of cool features for speedrunning if you ever get into that. So I googled DSDA Doom and found the Doom World page. I'll also link this in the description if you'd like, but we're just going to come down here to the Windows build because I'm on a 64-bit Windows system, and we're just going to left-click this. So that took a while to load, but this is just telling us all the files that are coming with this download. So we're going to go up to the right here and hit this download button. Close that. I'm going to jump into my downloads folder, and then this was obviously compressed, so it would download faster. So I'm just going to right-click and extract all to decompress it. Hit extract. And here's our new decompress folder with everything we need in it. So I'm going to grab everything in here, absolutely everything, and I'm going to just throw it in the same folder. That Doom folder. So at this point, now we actually could play Doom. We could, pick up Doom, drag it over DSDA Doom, and release. And obviously Windows is saying, hey, what the F is this? We're just going to run it anyway. And here it is. You don't have to get DSDA Doom. You can get whatever source port you want. This process is going to be the same thing. But if you do opt for DSDA Doom, I'm just going to really quickly show you the only settings I really care about just while we're here. So obviously we're going to go up to General and set our resolution up to 1920 by 1080p. Just scrolling all the way to the right because I've got a full-size monitor. I like to turn VSync off. If you don't know what vertical sync is, it just makes sure that your monitor's refresh rate and the game's refresh rate are the same, and that prevents tearing of the screen. But it can have performance costs, cause input lag, and I've never seen screen tearing while I've been playing Doom, so I've never needed this to be on. I turn it off. And then for video mode, I'm going to switch this to OpenGL because it's true 3D rendering. Stuff won't stretch and smear if you're using Freelook, and it's also just wicked fast. Now that I've changed that, my gamma's cranked up on my screen. I don't think you're going to be able to see this in the video, but you'll be able to see it on your own monitor when you do this. So I'm going to back out, and the default hotkey to change the gamma is F11. So I'm going to keep hitting that. You can see that going up on the top left corner there. When that caps out at 32, I'm going to hit it again, and now the game looks right. This is where I like to keep the gamma just at 0. Again, it's not going to look like anything happened in the video, but that's just my screen recorders not picking up the difference. You will notice it. In the options in mouse sensitivity, I've just noticed that the mouse feels really weird unless I turn this mouse look all the way down, and I don't need any vertical because I don't play with free look. And then I like the horizontal at 11, but whatever, that's your preference. But I like all of these just straight off, and then that helps the mouse movement just feel best to me. If you don't see this HUD at the bottom with Doom Guy's face and you'd like to, go down into the options to screen size and just make sure that's at 7. If you want the fancy HUD in the bottom left that tells you how many kills, items, and secrets you found, as well as the level time, you're gonna go Options, General, and go all the way over to Quality of Life and use Extended HUD. Turn that on. And now we can see the episode time and the kills and whatnot. And then the last thing you might want to do is go back into General and go all the way to the right here until I see, here we go, OpenGL Options 1. I want to go down to Texture Filter Mode, and I want to just turn that right off. And I'm also going to turn the anisotropic filter all the way off. I just like the look of that better. And honestly, that's good enough for me. Okay, now for the fun stuff. We want custom levels, we want to record demos, and we want to play them back. So the two most common ways to do this are either to use a launcher or to write batch files. I have my own launcher that I use. I wrote it just to be super bare bones and streamlined, so if I want to just boot up Ancient Aliens real quick in Doom 2, comp level 9, I can just hit play Doom, and I'm in. So that's pretty great. If you'd like to check that out, I'll link to a video in the description where I talk about how to use this and where to get it. You're welcome to use it if you'd like, and I'm hoping this just lowers the barrier to entry for new Doom players. I'm going to assume that for whatever reason, you either don't want or can't get a launcher, and I'm going to show you how to write batch files to do all the same stuff without it. So let's say I want to play Ancient Aliens. It's a super cool map set. So I just Google Doom Ancient Aliens. Here it is, the Doom World forum post for it. I'm going to scroll down past these beautiful screenshots and look for the download link, especially if there's an id Games one. Here we go. So you can just download it from a mirror over here. It doesn't really matter which one. I'm geographically closest to New York, so I'm going to use that one. Okay, so now that's downloaded. So I'm going to open my downloads. And again, it's been compressed to download faster. So we're extracting all on it. And then whenever you get a custom map set, there's always a text file with it. The two pieces of information that you need that you can get in here, or usually right in the text of the Doom World post, if that's easier, is what game it was made for. So Ancient Aliens was made for Doom 2, right? So you can scroll down to play information or Control F for game, right? Find next, there it is, and then see, okay, this one's for Doom 2. So when I run this map set, I need to run it over Doom 2. And then I need to know the compatibility level. So I'm going to scroll all the way up to the top, and here I can see that this is Boom compatible. Dacino has a great video on what all the compatibility levels are and the purpose of them. So if you'd like to understand more about that, I'll link to it in the description. But Boom compatible is probably the most common one, and it's comp level 9. So now that we know that, we're good to go. So we're going to grab our ancientaliens.wad. The text can come along if you'd like. It's optional, as long as you know what game it was built for and the comp level. And now we're ready to write the batch file to run it. So all I'm going to do is right-click and make a new text document. And it doesn't matter what you name it, except that I am going to put an underscore at the very beginning of it. And what that's going to do is if I close this and reopen it, it'll make sure that my batch file is always at the very top of the folder, so I don't have to go digging through or scrolling down for it. And then what I do need to do actually in the renaming process is change this .txt to BAT for batch file. Hit enter. And the computer's going to warn me about changing a file extension because sometimes you can break stuff by doing that. But in this case, we won't. So we hit yes. And just like that, we have a batch file. So now anytime we double click this batch file, we're going to run whatever commands we've written inside it. We haven't written any yet, so let's right click, edit. And then it really is as simple as in this same folder, I have dsda-doom.exe. And this tells the computer to run that executable. So if I save this and then double click my batch file, it's going to run dsda Doom, which by default opens Doom 2. If I wanted it to open something that's not Doom 2, then I would just add a space and then all commands start with a dash. So I'm going to go dash iwad because I want a different iwad. I want to play doom.wad. And the casing doesn't matter. See how it's uppercase in the folder, lowercase here? That's fine. It's still going to work. So if I save this, double click it, now we're running the ultimate Doom. So now remember, in this text file, we saw that for Ancient Aliens and the play information, it's for Doom 2. So we need to make sure that the iwad we set is Doom 2, and then we just load Ancient Aliens on top of that. So in our batch file, let's make sure we're loading doom2.wad. And then we're going to add another command, dash file, because we have another file that we want to load, and this is aaliens.wad. And then that second piece of information we needed was the compatibility level. So in this case, I said it was comp level 9, or boom. So I type dash comp level, and then just the number 9. Or with DSDA Doom, I think you can actually type the word boom, and that works too. I'll just write 9 because I'm used to it. So as long as we've spelled all this right and there's spaces between all these arguments, this will work just fine. So if I save this, I'm now going to tell DSDA Doom to load the iwad Doom 2, and then on top of that, load ancientaliens.wad and set the compatibility level to 9. So we run this, and there's Ancient Aliens. It really is that easy. So maybe I change the name of this bat file to be Ancient Aliens. So this is why I put all this crap in this folder, because now when I write this batch file, I don't have to give any specific file paths because it looks in this folder by default. So if I just say doom2.wad, ancientaliens.wad, it knows what I'm talking about. If you want to organize things better, you totally can. You can put stuff wherever you want on your computer. You'll just have to be more specific in the batch file. For example, in my actual Doom folder, I have a WADs folder, and I can see in here that I've got Magnolia. So if in my batch file here, I just type magnolia.wad, I happen to know that that also loads over Doom 2 and is comp level 9, so those settings are both still fine. But if I save this and try to run it, it didn't load Magnolia. It got confused, and it just ignored that argument and loaded Doom 2. There's no magnolia.wad in this folder. So all you have to do is go to where Magnolia actually is, and up here in the file path, don't click on one of these folders because you'll navigate to it. Click on some white space somewhere to the right, and then this appears, and it's already highlighted. This is the fully qualified file path to the folder Magnolia's in. So you just have to copy this, and then in your batch file, just paste that in front of magnolia.wad, and then just make sure you add one more slash between the folder and the WAD name, and make sure that slash is the same direction of slash as the other ones in the file path. And then for most people, this will just work. For me, it won't. And that's because my username on this computer has white space characters in it. See these spaces here? So since we've been using spaces this whole time to separate our arguments, it's confusing the computer. So we need to tell it that these spaces aren't ending the file path. This is all one thing. And so to do that, we just put quotes around it. The whole file path from the start of it all the way to the .wad, then put the quote there. And you could just do that all the time if you wanted to play it safe. And now I've been specific enough about where this file is that this will work. So if I run this now, it'll open Magnolia. So if I'm always going to keep my WADs in this WADs folder, then I can just keep editing this batch file here and just change the name of the WAD in the file path, and it'll keep going to the right place. So now if I wanted to play Italo Doom, that's Italo.wad. So I could change this to Italo, save it. Italo Doom is also comp level 9 for Doom 2. That's really the most common thing. And then we run that, and there's Italo Doom. So you can organize this stuff however you'd like. Now I want to record a demo for Ancient Aliens. First of all, let's change the file I'm loading from this long file path to ancientaliens.wad, which is in the same location as this batch file, so I don't have to be specific. I can just say aaliens.wad. And then to record a demo, all I have to do is add -record, and then the name of the demo. So let's call this test demo. And then demos are LMP files, so you can type .lmp, but you don't have to. And also let's put an underscore at the beginning so it goes to the top of the folder. And this looks a little weird right now just because of the thickness of the window, but if I stretch this out a little more, we can see that it is -record. There's no white space between the dash and the name of the command. But this is done, so now I can record a demo for Ancient Aliens. So we play, double click it, here I am, you can see attempt 1 out of 1 in the top left corner. If I press the home key, I think it is by default. Yep, that starts a new demo attempt. And that's important. You want to do that because if you die and you just click through to do another attempt, the cyber demon kills me here. If I just click through like that, that death is included in my demo. People are going to see that death. You're not starting a new demo attempt. If you want to start a new demo attempt, you hit the home key to start a new one. And then at any point you want, doesn't matter when, you can just quit the game and that'll finish your demo. And here we can see that it recorded 3 different demos, right? Every time I hit the home key, it recorded a new one and it just increments them with this number. But you'll notice that it played map 1. What if I don't want to record a demo for map 1? What if I want to record a demo for map 15? Well, we just add some commands for that. We add -warp to change the level. The level I'd like is 15. So it's -warp space 15. And then I'd also like to play on ultraviolence. So that's -skill, then a space, and then 4 for ultraviolence. 3 for hurt me plenty, 5 for nightmare. You get it. And now when I run it, it's going to be map 15. So here's my map 15 in Ancient Aliens. It's on ultraviolence. I can record my demo here, run it around, good stuff. Hey, that looks pretty great. Maybe I'll post that to the leaderboards. And you can see here that because I didn't change the name of the demo file when I recorded this one, it just added it to the end of this list. So that's just now 4th. Even though these were for map 1 and this one's for map 15, it just keeps incrementing it until you change the name. And don't worry about the order of these. I could take the skill 4, cut it, paste it here, and this is still going to work exactly the same. As long as all the commands are listed, you're good to go. I'll take this warp 15 as well. Let's put it here, paste it, and we still have a perfectly fine functioning batch file. Oh, and for the warps, if it's Doom 2 or Plutonia or TNT, then it's just the level number. If you want map 27, you type map 27. If you want map 3, you just type map 3. For Doom 1, you need to write the episode number and then a space and then the mission number. So for example, episode 3 space mission 2. Or if you're playing Sigil, since that's an episode 5 expansion for Doom 1, you would say episode 5 and then, I don't know, mission 4. Okay, whatever you'd like to do, that's only for Doom 1, so don't forget to do that. Okay, so now I've recorded this demo. I think it's super cool and I want to watch it back. So I don't need this junk anymore. I'm going to delete that. And then I'm going to rename this to Aliens 15. So I just come into my batch file and then instead of recording a demo, I'm going to use play demo. It's just the command -play demo and then the name of that demo. So in this case, it no longer has an underscore because I deleted that by accident. It is aliens15.lnp. And then when you're recording the demo, you have to tell it what comp level you want, what skill level you want, what level warp you want. But then the demo file saves that data. So in the header for this demo file, it knows that it's a comp level 9 demo, and it knows that it's on map 15 ultraviolence. So when you're playing the demo back, you can ignore all of those parameters. So it's just Ancient Aliens for Doom 2, and here's the demo I want to play.